tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Poppin' till it's swollen, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Amadaya production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Poppin' till it's swollen, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Poppin' till it's swollen, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare.
Right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen AmadayAShakur show. I'm your host, Queen AmadayAShakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so now with that all being said, let's see who's in here. Now, you all know that we've been having some trouble getting on. Sometimes when we go live, it'll say that there's a bunch of traffic and then tell us to keep trying. Okay, I heard Lisa Cabrera complain about the same thing. So apparently that's the thing that's been going on with StreamYard for the past few days. All right, so forgive my tardiness. Now, with that all being said, I mean, even though I'm tardy anyway, even when there isn't anything going on with StreamYard, I'm still tardy. That's the fact of the matter. So with that all being said, hello, everyone. Hello, Gloria, Buckhorst DC, Juju, Nessa G, Danielle, Deronda, Cheryl, the lovely T. All right, Aquarius MC. Let's get into it. 504 Nola. All right, Gregory. All right, so shout out to all of my loyal royals. I see you, Neuro Hustler or Hustle. Okay, and shout out to all my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Hey, we the people. Love Christy. Valentino is in the virtual building. All right, Desmond. Let's get the party started. Anthony, Millicent. Okay, Claudette. All right, so shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. And a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay. I see you, Cincy Prophetic Bastard. All right, so with that all being said, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes, and then we'll get this party started. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. And don't forget you can also find it at Walmart.com. And she sells beard oil. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, it has come to my attention that they're having, it looks like Keg's Breath and General Kane testify in front of the House Appropriations Subcommittee. Let's see what they have going on here. It's already been on for like an hour and 20 minutes, but let's see what they're talking about. They're not talking about anything. We'll move on, but let's just go in here and check it out.
What's
It's
is
not
it all?
related. You know how long our budget generation process is and the appropriation cycle, and so
Correct.
we completed this before the Iran conflict started.
Exactly. Okay. So what you're coming back to us with is not the reconciliation is not about Iran. The reconciliation is about assumptions that were made before Iran.
It's about making a generational investment in the joint force and building military readiness. That's what
Okay.
the budget request is.
Okay. I'm going to get back to some of the questions that were asked earlier, which is, what is the assumption that you are making in terms of future reconciliation bills in future fiscal years? How much of this is loaded into this particular fiscal year? You had a big reconciliation last year, which was portrayed in the same light, and now you're coming back for a huge one this year. Is another one on the horizon next year then?
For our budget request for 28, we expect to request that as discretionary only. And I believe the top line for that is 1.23, which will be our request that year.
Okay, I yield back.
Thanks, gentlemen. Mr. Diaz-Balart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, gentlemen, and more importantly, the folks that you lead. Federal government does a lot of important things, but nothing more important.
Okay, they're not talking about anything right now. We'll come back when they're going in. We'll come back to them when they're going in on somebody like Keg's Breath. But hold on, because Trump, this broadcast started like 5 minutes ago on CBS. Trump says the Iran ceasefire is on life support. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, I'm sure it is. No thanks to him. Or shall I say all thanks to him. Let's get into it.
Apparent stalemate in the Middle East between the US and Iran. President Trump is slamming Iran's latest offer to end the war, calling it, quote, a stupid proposal. In the Oval Office yesterday, he cast doubt over the fragile ceasefire with Tehran.
I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it. I would say it's one of the weakest right now. It's on life support.
Iran's
First of all, let me tell you all something. Trump is full of BS, okay? He's full of BS. First of all, what do you mean you didn't finish reading it? How unpresidential is that? Okay, and for something so serious. All right, I would think that he would definitely have read the whole thing. But you know what the thing is? Trump doesn't want to go ahead and sign that ceasefire agreement. Well, he may want to, but he isn't going to because Benjamin Netanyahu hasn't given him the permission to. And in fact, I heard a report today on TikTok this morning that Netanyahu is supposed to be having a talk with Trump today and discussing with him plans, okay, how to restart the war. As you can see by my thumbnail, Okay, that's why I have them sitting there with the war plans, because Netanyahu's supposed to be talking to Trump today and telling him about the new plan moving forward to restart the war. Okay, so if he has a plan, that means he didn't just come up with the plan this morning. He darn sure didn't come up with it last night. He's likely had this ready for a while, for a few days at least. That being said, well, that's why Trump didn't take that ceasefire agreement. He's talking about it's so terrible. But what about the one they offered days ago when they said they would get rid of the enriched uranium? Okay, they would give up, like, I forget how much of it, but then they said the rest they would give it to like a third party country, like Russia perhaps, and they would agree, to some other things, make some other concessions. So with that all being said, that was the perfect thing right there, because after all, don't they keep saying that this is about ensuring that Iran can't have nuclear capabilities? Okay, and wanting the enriched uranium. And isn't that what Netanyahu said in the 60 Minutes interview the other day? They asked him, the reporter asked him, how do you get the enriched uranium? He said, you go in and you take it. Well, you didn't have to take it. They were going to give it to you. They offered it up, but Trump didn't take the deal. So why not? Well, because like I said, Netanyahu likely told him, you don't take a deal until I say you take a deal. Okay? Please pay attention. Trump's in a pickle. And like I told you all, and here's the thing, the guy from Young Turks, Jinx, he even said the same thing that I've been saying. He said there's no viable reason, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but the main thing he said was there's no good reason for Trump to be having this war, and it's not benefiting us in any way. No matter what Iran gives into, it's not going to benefit us in any way. And he said for this to be going as badly as it is for Trump, it only has to be one thing, and that's blackmail. And that's what I've been telling you all. That's what I've been telling you all. I think Netanyahu has the goods on Trump, and he's been blackmailing him. Because like Jinx said, he said this is about more than bribery. And it absolutely is. Okay, absolutely is, in my opinion. Now, even though I do believe that he was bribed when that lady gave him that $125 million, I think that's exactly what she gave it to him for, so he would work at their behest. But at the end of the day, yeah, it definitely is given blackmail, like they have something on him. And I've been telling y'all that it's something to do with them Epstein files, I guarantee you. Okay, now that's just my assessment. But let's continue, because Trump says that the ceasefire agreement is on life support.
Parliament Speaker is urging the U.S., meanwhile, to accept the country's proposal, writing, quote, the longer they drag their feet, the more American taxpayers will pay for it. And consumers are paying more at the pump. Gas prices have soared more than 50% since the war began. A gallon of regular will now cost you $4.50 on average. That's down just slightly from yesterday, but still high. In an exclusive interview with CBS News, President Trump said he wants to now suspend the federal gas tax. That move would save drivers about 18 cents per gallon. And CBS News has exclusively learned Pakistan allowed Iran to park military aircraft on its airfields despite its mediator role in the conflict. That move potentially shielded the aircraft from American airstrikes. U.S. officials also tell CBS News Iran sent civilian aircraft to park in Afghanistan. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane, they are expected to face tough questions on the Hill today. The pair will testify on the war in Iran and the 2027 budget. CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro joins us from our D.C. bureau for more on all of these top lines this morning. Aaron, good morning. President Trump seemed to project confidence in the ceasefire up until this point. So from the Oval Office, what is his overall message now?
Good morning, Errol. The president's comments both yesterday and immediately when the proposal was received from Iran, when President Trump called it, quote, totally unacceptable, show just how far apart the two countries are when it comes to some sort of peace deal or even just setting the terms for more rounds of negotiations. Yesterday, President Trump said the ceasefire was on life support and really berated Iran for the response, though he did reveal that Iran, according to him, told the U.S. that they wanted them to retrieve enriched nuclear material from its facilities, which was thought of as a potential U.S. military operation earlier in this conflict. The president also told our colleague Nancy Cortez he wants to suspend the federal gas tax of about 18 cents per gallon, which did prompt support from Republicans on the Hill and Democrats to say it's not enough. Take a listen.
I think the president is 100% right. We ought to suspend the gas tax. We ought to do diesel as well. Why wouldn't we take the opportunity to give working people some relief?
Senate Democrats will support real action to lower costs. But let's not pretend 18 cents of gas tax relief per gallon makes up for the damage Trump created with this war.
Now, Senator Hawley of Missouri.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, that the fact that he's, getting rid of the gas tax, that should let us know that this war is not going to end anytime soon. Okay? It's not going to end anytime soon, in my opinion.
He said he would introduce legislation to suspend the gas tax with a companion bill ready in the House as well. The president also told our colleague Nancy Cortez he's not considering a bailout for U.S. air carriers as they struggle with higher jet fuel costs as a result of this war. Errol?
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. We're going to speak with another Aaron now. CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean joins us for more of an overall discussion on the war. Aaron, good morning. The president appeared irritated from the Oval Office on the latest Iran proposal. But so many weeks into this, what options does he have left? There are some critical descriptions describing the U.S. position as being stuck, being deadlocked. Why won't the U.S. just walk away, do you think?
Well, look, I've heard it said about life, and it's certainly true about war, that sometimes you're just faced with a series of bad options, none of which are good. And I think that is the president, that is President Trump's situation right now. He could, of course, walk away. Formally speaking, that's an option. But with the Strait of Hormuz closed and the future of Iran's nuclear program unresolved, along with a bunch of other issues, it would be very hard to portray the last 2 months as a success for the United States of America. So I would be surprised if that were his course of action. Of course, a return to hostilities would see a lot of damage across the region. It would violate the president's commitment to the American people that this was going to be a 4 to 6 week war. It would cause further trouble in the markets. There are other options beside that, but those are the two major polls, and neither one is great.
And both have serious consequences, specifically politically for Republicans and the president's party with the midterm elections around the corner. You don't want this to be on voters' minds, but at the same time, voters, make choices based on their pocketbook. And if prices continue to be high for fuel, that could also cost the president. So what do you think would be the least damaging choice for the president?
Right. So the fact is either of the choices I just outlined, that is to say walking away and leaving Iran in charge of the Strait of Hormuz, or returning to hostilities to reopen the strait and perhaps pursue some other goals. Frankly, both of those options have prices staying pretty high for some time. So I don't think you can make the decision on those grounds. I think leaving the Strait of Hormuz in Iranian hands indefinitely essentially allows the Islamic Republic to continue to hold the world's economy hostage at its leisure indefinitely. So I would not be surprised at all at this stage to see a return to hostilities. I think the president and this administration's desire for a diplomatic resolution is genuine, but as of right now, the negotiations themselves are deadlocked, not just the overall situation. And with every passing day, I think it's more likely that you see a return to military action.
Never, ever sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a better way to get compensated that's faster, easier, and could get you way more money without spending years in court or paying expensive lawyers up front. If you've been in a car accident within the past year, even if you were just a passenger, what I'm about to share could save you months of hassle.
Sorry about that, beloveds. That was my dear sister, Lisa Cabrera. Do y'all know Lisa just told me there is a gas shortage? That people are lined up at gas stations and there's no gas? Hold on. I knew it was coming, but not this quick. Did y'all know that? Here it is right here, 6 minutes ago. This was reported. This is a jet fuel shortage. It's pushing Americans' gas prices sky high. Hold on. Let me see what else they got going on here. It's all crazy. Shipping industry fears fuel shortages as Iran war continues. Y'all, we're about to be stranded. Oh, well, let's continue. Cheryl said that will drive prices higher. Hey, Trump has us in a crunch. Okay, he clearly does. Low down, dirty devil. Okay, I'm going to get some information on that in a second, some more information. But let me just tell you all that they're now saying that the UAE has secretly joined in. I guess it's not much of a secret if I found out about it this morning, but they say they secretly joined in the attacks on Iran. And they say, according to a report first cited by the Wall Street Journal and picked up by Reuters, the UAE allegedly carried out covert strikes on Iran, including a reported attack on an oil refinery on Iran's Levin Island in early April. Reuters said it could not independently verify the claim, and the UAE has not publicly acknowledged any offensive operations. What is confirmed is that the UAE and Iran have been in a serious military confrontation in 2026, with the UAE saying that it has repeatedly intercepted Iranian missiles and drones aimed at its territory. The UAE has framed its actions publicly as defensive and self-defense measures. Okay, so it looks like it's all going down. All right, so anyway, while I try to get some more information on this oil shortage, I'm going to let you all go to MS Now, where they have a report on Senator Mark Kelly and law professor. They both weigh in on the legal fight that Senator Kelly is going through. Okay, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
Gallagher was inside that courtroom. Also here, Rachel Van Landingham, retired lieutenant colonel from the U.S. Air Force, former JAG, and professor of law at Southwestern Law School. Good to have both of you there. So, Fallon, take us inside that courtroom. What stood out to you in these arguments?
Yeah, Chris, the key question during today's arguments was really whether those First Amendment restrictions that can apply to active duty service members also apply to retirees like Senator Kelly. Now, at this point, a lower court has preliminarily ruled that they do not apply. And this Court of Appeals, this three-court panel, a majority of them appear inclined to side with that lower court and with Senator Kelly. Now, Hegseth and the Pentagon have argued that those restrictions do apply, that the senator engaged in, that he was counseling disobedience, in their words, when he engaged in that video where he told service members that they can refuse to obey illegal orders. Now, Senator Kelly has said that the Department of Defense is acting in what they're calling textbook retaliation. And I want you to take a listen to what he had to say outside of court.
According to them, anytime a retired veteran says something that the Secretary of Defense doesn't like, they can be punished. So the people who have given the most in service to this country wouldn't be free to say what they believe. It's absurd and it's outrageous. It is an outrageous violation of our constitutional rights.
Now, inside the courtroom, the judges had really sharp questionings for the Department of Justice. One of the judges repeatedly reminded him that at West Point and the Naval Academy, it is textbook teaching to all cadets that you can refuse illegal orders. That was a current that came throughout this entire hearing. And there was another interesting line of questioning towards the end where one of the judges, one of the sharpest questioners during the entire hearing, had a line of questioning to the Department of Defense's attorney, where she asked him repeatedly, if the senator wants to be able to speak freely and practice his First Amendment rights, would he have needed to discharge himself from the military as opposed to retire? And the Department of Defense attorney couldn't answer that question in a straight way that satisfied the judge. Now, there was no ruling from here today, but we expect a written opinion in the coming weeks. Chris?
Thank you so much for that. Well, Rachel, Senator Kelly told Punchbowl News, quote, my expectation is we win in the circuit court, and I also expect them to probably appeal again, and it might go to the Supreme Court. Based on what you heard today, what do you think?
Well, I think Senator Kelly is right. I do think there's a strong chance this will go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will resoundingly side with Senator Kelly and the millions of military retirees like me that maintain our First Amendment right to speech. Senator Kelly is a mere pensioner, as the Supreme Court has called military retirees, receiving pay for his past service. So while military members do have restricted First Amendment liberties while on active duty, of course, because of the nexus to good order and discipline and obedience to command. Military retirees are civilians who enjoy the panoply of First Amendment protections, and they should. We need to hear from our veterans. And what the Secretary of Defense is trying to do now really risks chilling the speech of millions of individuals who have honorably served their country.
So indeed, Rachel, central to today's argument, what this ruling could mean for military retirees. And if the judge sides with the Defense Department and Secretary Hegseth, you mentioned the chilling effect it could have on free speech. But for people who believe it's important for them to stand up for what they believe in, automatically they lose their rank and pay?
Well, the Secretary of Defense would have to go through some kind of procedure, such as the military code of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, military criminal law, technically does still apply to military retirees like myself, but no court has ever found that the unique military speech crimes apply to us. So he would have to try to court-martial each one of us that has said things such as words contemptuous against elected officials. I have spoken about President Trump in words that are quite contemptuous. So he would have to actually court-martial me, right? Because that's the only venue. But what he's trying to do against Senator Kelly, he threatened to court-martial him, but there really is no probable cause that he committed a crime. Senator Kelly did the same thing I did as a professor and lawyer and military officer at the United States Air Force Academy, which is train cadets that you have a legal duty to disobey unlawful orders. It's not just that you can, it's that you must disobey unlawful orders that you know that are unlawful. And so, the idea that Senator Kelly even committed any kind of military crime is ludicrous. So what the secretary is trying to do is instead to take a backdoor maneuver and reduce his retirement pay, which is clearly not allowed by federal law, because retirement pay is based purely on conduct while on active duty. And so Secretary Hegseth is going to lose either way. But we do need the courts to continue, and they're strong and staunch.
That's because Hegseth is just a darn hater. Okay, he wants that man to lose his pension and all of that because he's a hater. That's what he is. He's so envious because he's a failure. Okay. The only reason he is where he is now, that position that he's not qualified for at all, we all know he's incompetent, woefully incompetent, is because he kisses Trump's butt. Okay? At the end of the day, he has a myriad of problems that would disqualify him on any given day with any on the up administration. He would not fit the bill, and he knows it. Okay? And so anyway, and not just because he's a drunkard, but also because he's an alleged rapist. Okay, but when the president's an alleged rapist too, I guess, hey, anybody can be an alleged rapist and get a high-ranking position. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, yes, I just did look it up, and people are complaining about no gas. Okay, people are complaining about no gas prices going up. They're saying that by next week it's going to be $5. No ifs, ands, or buts, no way around it. And that's if you can find gas. Hold on. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Cheryl said he's DEI. Okay. Clearly, while he's worried about black folk. Uh-oh.
Didn't I tell y'all don't hold your breath? I told you don't hold your breath waiting on these gas prices and oil prices to go down. This is why I said that, man. Iran just sent their proposal today, Sunday, May 10th. Trump read it, went and posted on Truth Social and said, totally unacceptable. He even said that they playing games, been doing this for decades. He said, nah, it ain't happening. And that's it. He didn't go into detail what their proposal was. We can only assume because remember, they sent the proposal earlier, a few months back or a month ago, however long ago it was. And you remember they wanted to own the Strait of Hormuz. They want to be able to run the Strait of Hormuz. They want to be able to charge. They want the U.S. to pay for everything they messed up since this war. So we know a little bit what's going on.
Tell you what. Who was that said martial war or martial law? Yeah, Pensilola said he's trying to bring in martial law next. Yes, I've been telling you all that, but I just saw that a guy posted a video about that. and they basically took it down right away. He said as soon as he posted the video talking about martial law, they took it down right away on TikTok. No surprise there.
There's no gas at the gas station. So I had to come to the next gas station, 76, and that's Express, that doesn't have any gas. So what that tells me, the gas station is running out of gas.
Now listen to Marco Rubio. I want y'all to pay attention. Here's Marco Rubio talking about fuel crisis scandal. It says the caption says fuel crisis scandal, blame game or bad planning. Yeah, because he's trying to act like it isn't because of this war, I guess. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Right now in Miami and Fort Lauderdale with gasoline is crazy. You can't find gasoline anywhere. This has been going on since Sunday, and they're blaming it on the floods that impacted the port. And I know that was a factor, but
Sir, you are correct. The floods that impacted the port are a factor, but there's another factor too, and that is that your state and your government have.
And here's the thing. This is how you know he's full of crap. He said they're blaming it on the floods. Nobody's blaming it on the darn floods. Okay, nobody's blaming it on the floods. And matter of fact, it wasn't flooding everywhere in all states, so nobody's blaming it on that. Okay, I want you to pay attention. He tried to put that narrative out there like we're all too blind and too dumb to see that it's because of the war. The Strait of Hormuz has been shut down. Is he serious?
No contingency plan for this kind of problem. That's correct. I don't know who this they is you keep referring to, but yeah, the port's flooding is a factor. Another factor is the fact that your state government, your senators, your governors, your legislature are so focused on things like Disney and chasing people around with sticks that, you know, the letters, the people that have the letters LGBTQIA, and also telling people they can't say gay, and also burning books. And, you know, if y'all weren't so focused on that, maybe you would have a contingency plan for this, like a lot of blue states do. I don't know. Maybe you could call your colleagues up in New York and say, hey guys, how did y'all go about putting together an emergency reserve of gasoline in case something like this happened? I mean, maybe you could focus on that instead of trying to figure out who to blame when it's literally you guys that are in charge of the state. Have you even considered the possibility that you people are so engulfed in culture wars and that is all you care about, that you've been totally distracted on your infrastructure and things that are actually important, and now you're crying?
what's happening right now in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale.
He's talking about it's crazy. What's crazy is this war that we shouldn't even be enthralled in. Okay, please sit down somewhere.
Well, guess what? Gas stations in the United States are starting to run out of gas. They're shutting down. So if I were you, I've been on Janet's ass for 4 days now. You need to go and gas up. I need to gas up. I'm going to do that this morning. And so I wish I had better news for you.
Yeah, well, we all do. At the end of the day, I'm telling y'all, it's different people from different places. Nene said this is BB's war. Of course it is. And these should be BB's problems, not ours. I'm mad about
You guys think I'm fucking around? Then just keep on scrolling. But I just went up to my gas station to get gas in my car, and there were the yellow bags over the pump, so I walked inside. I'm friends with the owner, and I said, what's going on with gas? Kind of assuming already that things are getting shut down. And she said, basically, she's an Indian lady, but the sweetest lady in the world. And she said, basically, she's not allowed to say anything, but she's not expecting to get gas. And she doesn't have an update on when she's going to get trucks to fill up her tanks again. Tell me this shit is not wild. I went a mile down the road and got some gas at a different gas station, but there were bags over a couple of the pumps. This is, I guarantee you, me, everybody in America, the gas supply is about to be cut off. I guarantee it. I guarantee there are going to be such major shortages coming this week, next week, and the following.
This is all about to be some real bullish. I hope you all know, get ready for it, because here it comes. Okay, because when there's no gas, That's going to disrupt the whole supply chain like never before. Trucks are not going to be able to make shipments and deliveries. Okay, Uber and Lyft, what are they going to do? If you have that as a side job, how are people going to get to work? Okay, what are y'all going to do? What are y'all going to do? This is all crazy. And we have no one to thank but Trump. Where's all these darn black MAGA at right about now with their stupid selves? While they're out here praising these gold statues of Trump, we're all about to be stuck at the house, and then Trump's going to put us under martial law. Okay? This is all crazy. If you all haven't been following your lifelines, now's the time to start. Anyway, let's continue. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. A like and share. Let me pull up this next clip. I gotta hurry up and get off of here. I already filled up. I filled up with gas a couple of days ago, but I need to go get some more. I need to go stock up on gas because this is crazy. Okay, this is absolutely crazy. And let me just tell you all something. This is what I was talking about in the caption of the title: manufactured famine. Okay, because what did I tell you all? That Trump's doing all of this on purpose. This is all by design. He knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, he knows how to get everybody under control. This is what they know, the devils. This is what they're plotting on and planning. Like I told you all on yesterday, as far as I'm concerned, they knew that starting this war was going to cause economic decline. And if they didn't know it at the beginning, they sure knew it days in. Okay? They knew it the minute that Iran snatched up the Strait of Hormuz and put it in a chokehold. And in fact, they knew it before they did it. Because Iran has threatened to do that in decades ago. In previous times in history, they've threatened to do it. So there's no way that they could act like they didn't know that that was a viable, possibility. And like I said, if they were so smart, why didn't they snatch it up first? But they didn't, because they're bungling idiots.
Absolutely some hot national security gossip. As it turns out, the UAE is not as passive in the conflict with Iran as they might have you believe. In fact, they have secretly joined the war, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal. Even though the UAE has not publicly acknowledged it, it appears that they have conducted airstrikes on this area, the island of Lavon. Lavon is an oil refining island which is close to the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz. This island was built up specifically because Karga Island was seen as a military target and they needed redundancies.
All right. Now, this lady right here talks about the latest Lego video that I can't show you all because of copyrights or whatever. But check out this video because she says that Iran was talking about the UAE in this video. I hadn't seen it.
This post on your FYP, let me know in the comments and try to boost it and push it out because this is major news that you need to know. Explosive Media dropped a new image into the group chat this morning. It was this right here. It's saying this is why Iran is targeting the United Arab Emirates because they're Israel 2.0. After seeing that post, I reached out to them immediately asking if there was any type of news from the Middle East that I might not be getting that can kind of fill me in on what is going on with the UAE. Now, will you look at this? We don't see this on our news headlines. The United Arab Emirates commits $100 million to train U.S. Israeli-backed security force in Gaza. Let's flash back to last year. Do you guys remember this? Trump was posting these AI videos about rebuilding Gaza with this huge golden statue, the Riviera of Gaza. And it just seems like they've gone full steam ahead with these plans. The United Arab Emirates is providing this $100 million to Trump's Board of Peace. And this is to finance the training of a new police force that's supposed to patrol Gaza on behalf of Israel. They're patrolling on behalf of Israel. That's the kicker. This new police force is being formed under the so-called National Committee for the Administration of Gaza. This decision was made without Palestinians. It was made by Israel and the Board of Peace. They're saying that it's a panel of Palestinian technocrats. It was established 3 months ago, but its members have not entered Gaza yet, and they're citing insufficient funding and security concerns. I'm going to massacre this. Nikolay Mel Dalendoff. He's a member of the Board of Peace, and he said there's no money currently available, which is weird because I thought Trump took $10 billion from the U.S. Treasury to start that Board of Peace. Basically, they're saying that they don't have enough money after they did the ethnic cleansing to start gentrifying Palestine. So the UAE jumped in, and they actually paid this $100 million. It's not just a pledge. This is a really notable thing because Trump had demanded that world leaders contribute $1 billion each for a seat on his board, and nobody wanted. Despite the initial pledges, the board has not received the billions that were promised by the UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. You see the ferocity of these strikes on the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait. Iran wants them to know they know what you're doing. And it really seems like Iran is taking one for the team. Seems like they're saying, you want to know what? You guys decided to attack us? Okay, well, now we're going to defend every single country that you're targeting. They watch everything that's going on, and they're letting everybody in the world.
I find it all interesting. Now, with that all been said, let's talk about this rapper, this cultural appropriator by the name of Sunshine Benzi. Who in here has heard of Sunshine Benzi? One's in the chat. For those of you who don't know who she is, that's her on the screen in the thumbnail with the black fur coat. Anybody ever heard of this young lady? We're about to talk about her because recently a video that she did about Black women has gone viral in a bad way. Okay, so most of you hadn't heard of her. I hadn't heard of her either until this happened. So this is a young lady who is a rapper. She's nothing more than a cheap imitation of Nicki Minaj. She has stolen Nicki's flow. She has stolen Nicki's lyrics. I mean, literally saying the same words, okay, in certain cases. And so, some Black people don't even have a problem with it. But I do, because I cannot stand when I see the colonizers colonizing. Okay, that's what I can't stand. So with that all being said, she says that, she was influenced by Nicki and all of this, and some people were giving her props. And, well, she did say that she was influenced by Nicki. She's paying homage to her. First of all, I don't give a damn if she said she was influenced by Nicki or not. She didn't have to say it. That's obvious. She's literally copying Nicki. So just because she came out and said it and admitted it, that's supposed to make it okay? That's like if I come and steal your car and then you're looking for who stole it. And I said, well, I stole it. I have to admit, I'm the one that took it, but I still have your car. That's cool with you? Okay, so that makes no sense, is all I'm saying. It makes no sense, is all I'm saying. And I'm not a Nicki fan any longer after her little Trump debacle. But nonetheless, I don't like to see people appropriating our culture and then mimicking and copying us, okay, as if it's a costume that they can wear. All right, so let's get into it. Like stuff, everyone, please like and share. I'm not going to play any of her music. I wish I could, but due to copyrights. Hold on, here we go.
So you got this huge YT woman rapper named Sunshine Benzi who did a music video for one of her songs called Hunting Season. And she basically was opening fire on Black women. This is why I don't listen to a lot of YT woman or YT people rappers, because a lot of them are the R word. Y'all know what I mean. They like to cosplay Black people. They like to be part of the culture, but at the same time, they are the R word. Okay? So I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Then she put out a statement talking about it was her PR team's idea. Anything to avoid accountability. She said that she tried to, or that she was against it. If you were so against it, why did you even participate in the video then? Make it make sense, bro. I don't like these people. They cannot take accountability. Anyway.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. And here's the thing. So, like I said, a lot of these foolish black women, specifically younger, these young people are these young people are something else. Like these young people of today are not like us. Okay. They are not socially aware. They don't know how to read a room. Okay. Most of them are just so obtuse. Okay, they don't care anything about cultural appropriation. They want to invite anybody to the cookout. All you have to do is talk like us, cosplay us, know the lyrics to a rap song that's popping, and you're invited to the cookout. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's how black people have always been infiltrated through to foolishness like that. We just can't be inviting everybody to the cookout because they seem like they like us, because they seem like they're cool. Because here's the thing. They were all sitting up there going in, caping for this girl. Hold on. Robert said no gatekeeping. Are you talking about us? We can gatekeep. Absolutely, we can. Absolutely. Now, with that all being said, here's the thing. A lot of these black women were going in on people and said, oh, y'all hating, and this and that. But now that she's come out with a video called Open Season, he called it Hunt Season. It's actually called Open Season, and where she's shooting black women like she's hunting them. Y'all know, like we read about in the Epstein files, like I read to y'all, like hunting. See, that's a known thing amongst people who look like her. See, they all know about how they hunt black folk. That's what they all know. Some of y'all might have just heard about it a few years ago when I was reporting on Rasheem Carter. But at the end of the day, they all know how that goes. That's been going on for centuries. So they all know about it. So the fact that she wrote a song about that, and here's the thing, she can sit there and say now, because that's what she's doing. She's like, oh, that wasn't my idea, acting like she had no creative control and acting like everybody else, her publicists and other people, put that together for her and she just had to go along with it. No, you didn't. And you know how you know that was her idea? Likely. It's because that's what her whole song is about. The song is called Open Season, and she's talking about hunting. So the video, it only makes sense that that's what would be depicted in the video, even if her team did come up with it, because that's what you're singing about. Okay, so she could miss me with it. Okay, she could miss me with it. And we have a whole lot of raccoons out here, but now they want to get mad. Don't get mad now. You should have already been mad when you heard she was copying Nicki Minaj. And then trying to talk with a black scent.
Female rapper Sunshine Benzi is facing backlash after a video depicting her opening fire on a group of black women for her new single, Open Season, surfaces.
Hey, you'll feed her. Starving. My stomach hard. What a waitress say. Oh, waiter. They keep screaming at me.
Hold on, guys.
As you don't know, Sunshine Benzi is a white female rapper who started garnering attention when her song Trump the Bill began trending on TikTok.
Okay, let me just take his video down because he was playing her whole darn songs. I didn't know he was going to be doing all that. But yeah, with that all being said, she clearly, like I said, is trying desperately to sound like Nicki Minaj. Okay, same lyrics, everything, like I said, in certain cases. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Let me go to another clip. Here we go. I mean, if it ain't Elvis, it's always somebody. Please pay attention.
And I don't like how some of y'all still in my comments telling me that I'm a hater because I called out a white girl cosplaying my culture, trying to capitalize off of it. Talking about a wave top and a pick. She's never had a wave top or probably used a pick ever. What are we talking about? And then it's like a lot of the people that are telling me I'm delusional in the comments are white. Who are y'all to tell me what my culture is when somebody that looks like you is the one that's putting it on as a costume? I don't care what y'all say. I'm never going to be in support of someone that is not black, literally cosplaying a rapper that's Black. That doesn't make sense to me, and I will never be standing behind it. I don't care how good the song might be. You guys always seem to do this thing where if a white girl doesn't act like a white girl, aka she acts Black, she cosplays someone Black, you guys hype them up. It's not even just when it comes to the music. It's the ones who dance. It is the ones who like to lip sync to Black music. It is everything about us. If you guys see a white girl emulate the same things that we do in our mannerisms, in the way we talk, you guys hype them up. And it's really funny that we can't do the same and be hyped up. But that's okay, because I will be a hater if that's what y'all think I am. The truth will come to the light like the way it always does.
Exactly. She's absolutely right. When Black women do certain things, it's called ghetto. But when a white girl turns around and does the same thing, oh, they get praises and props for it. Like Godfrey says, everybody imitates Black women. Even gay white men imitate Black women.
Comes to that fat white rapper who says niggas be stiffer than a dick pic or whatever the fuck she said, I know she'd be saying the N-word when she's by herself. Okay, that's one. But two, I have her blocked. I don't want to comment too much on, but she released a snippet for a video, and in the video, she's putting a pew pew. Okay, she ups a stick on a group of like Black women. In her mind, I know that she thought that was okay, but I'm not even gonna get into the culture vulture of it all. All I want to say is to Black people, okay, my people, hear me. Our rage is a currency, okay? When we are upset at people like this, we literally fund them. That girl is blocked by me, and I absolutely refuse to talk about or engage with her, because guess what? The more we engage with and talk about her, the more successful she becomes. All I'm saying is, while I understand what she did was wrong, because it is, when you engage with it, and this is just like, this is going to be the last time you hear me talk about this girl. Just please don't talk about her. Let her flop.
She's gonna flop. And like I said, some of them were so cool about it until she came out with that video. Now they're mad. Now they're feeling some type of way.
My culture, I just want to be respected and welcomed with open arms, and respect is earned, and I get that, but
no. The answer is no. Fuck no. Yeah, no. We're not going to show you respect in our culture. You was right in the beginning when you said, I know it's not my culture. That's where the shit needs to stop. The answer is no. Absolutely not.
I know this isn't my culture.
Yeah, exactly. You know it's not your culture. So, okay. In a few weeks after this little stunt, maybe she'll do like Post Malone and start doing country music or rock. Okay. Now, with that all being said, because that's what he actually did first, until he crossed over to rap, where he saw he could get in where he fit in, I guess. Okay, now here was her little half-arse apology. It isn't even really an apology, but this is her explanation for why she did what she did. She says, I pushed multiple times to scrap the video and reshoot an entirely different one because I hated the concepts. Girl, bye. Which wasn't even mine. My decision wasn't respected after repeatedly saying I was uncomfortable with it. It's insane because I was the only person in the room who had an issue with the entire thing. Yet it was still pushed to release. Or they still push to release it. I'm actively learning how to listen to my instincts, even when everyone around me disagrees. Unfortunately, no matter what I do, it will be twisted into something else. The real ones know my heart and intention. Love you, sun rays. So I'll sit down somewhere. Okay, sit down somewhere. No matter what I do, it will be twisted into something else. This wasn't twisted into a damn thing else. You did a video with a song called Open Season where you acted like it was open season on black women and you fired on them like you were hunting. So that's what it is. Nobody's making it into anything that it isn't. That's exactly what it is. And that's exactly what we're calling it. Nobody's painting a narrative, so don't go there. It's not like anyone has a nefarious agenda. Just calling you out. And I'm gonna tell you another thing black people need to stop doing that gets on my damn nerves. Need to stop saying that other people are hating just because their opinion is contrary to yours. Okay? Because that's what I get so sick of black people doing. If somebody disagrees with you or they don't like the same person you like or whatever, then the person's gonna say, oh, they're hating. It's not always about hating. Most of the times it's not about hating. That's just a convenient excuse for people who don't want to accept the truth or the facts. That's what that is. Okay? Or people who don't like someone else's opinion because it doesn't align with theirs. Say, for example, if somebody likes Nicki Minaj and I don't, and then I say why I don't like Nicki Minaj, then somebody will call me a hater. I don't have to be a hater. I just don't like Nicki Minaj because she's a whole Trump supporter. Now, I used to love Nicki Minaj. But at the end of the day, that makes me a hater because I don't like her now. No, that doesn't. And people who think that we're insidiously obtuse, in my opinion. Now, I said what I said. And who's going to check me, boo? Okay, in the words of Sheree Whitfield. Okay? Now, with that all being said, let's continue. Let's continue because there's a few more people that had something to say. Like some, everyone, please like and share. Black people know they love to say somebody's hating because you disagree.
Wasn't wrong about Sunshine. I was just fucking early. Like Trim, y'all tried to tell me that I was a hater for calling out Sunshine Benzi, saying that she don't know what a wave top or a pick is because she's fucking white. And y'all told me that, oh, we need a new Nicki anyway. She's good. Y'all said the same shit when I called out Trim. Now look at y'all, mad as fuck because she pointing a gun at black women in a music video. Like, I don't understand why y'all don't understand the concept of they be trying to replace people in the industry. Both of those girls are trying to be Nicki and they're unoriginal as fuck. I don't understand why that is so hard for people to believe. And I knew I wasn't wrong about Sunshine.
Yeah, because it's another girl that they say is trying to be Nicki too. She's black and her name is Trim. Now, I saw one of her stage performances and it was not up to par. Okay? People just need to be original, period. Stop trying to be somebody else. Like, and first of all, you're never going to be the top dog when you try to be somebody else because nobody can be someone's authentic self better than the authentic person. That's what you cats do. Okay? That's what you cats do. Just be yourself. Why don't you want to be anyone else? Like, make it make sense. Seriously. You have to have low self-esteem and really low self-worth to want to be someone other than yourself. How to make it all make sense. All right? Make it all make sense. Because why would you? Where they do that at?
We can accept that that little white girl is Nicki Minaj's actual son, right? Or actual daughter, rather. Like, she has Nicki's entire flow. Voices and all. Like, I saw someone say, like, y'all keep saying y'all hear Nicki, I hear Remy. There's a little bit of Remy, but that's more so because they're both female rappers from New York. So the influence of Little Kim and Foxy Brown is just going to be apparent no matter what. But the reality is, she sounds like Nicki Minaj. She's a bitch. And like in the Trump the Bill. And then I saw the Scottie Pippen thing, and she literally almost verbatim sounded like Nicki in one of her parts of the flow. And I mean, I have no problem with it because Nicki has prophesized having an heir, and she tried to make the heir apparent Ice Spice, but holy shit, it's kind of weird. But yeah.
Yeah, it is weird. And when Nicki said that she was going to have an heir, honey, she wasn't talking about somebody to copy and paste of herself. She was talking about somebody to take the crown when she retired. Now, that all being said, they're talking about boycotting the World Cup. I'm not surprised. I've been told y'all that's what they need to do. But this is what they say. FIFA sponsors rethink the $3 billion U.S. investment. What's changing? They're mocking all of us, they say. They're not mocking me. They're not mocking me, honey. They must be mocking the rest of y'all varmints out there.
Tensions escalate. The former president of FIFA is supporting a boycott of the upcoming 2026 World Cup.
And say they're boycotting the upcoming World Cup games in the U.S. The local World Cup committee has been expecting hundreds of thousands of visitors to travel to the Metro when the matches kick off in 5 months.
The German politician Jürgen Hart, a member of the Christian Democratic Union, has raised the idea of a potential World Cup boycott in a German newspaper.
Calls are growing louder in the United Kingdom for England and Scotland to boycott the 2026 FIFA World Cup that is set to be co-hosted by the United States.
Three of FIFA's largest global sponsors held a private meeting in Zurich that lasted 4 hours. No press was invited and no statement was released. By Thursday, all three had quietly notified their US-based marketing agencies that contract renewals were under review. And then only one word was circulating inside FIFA's commercial division, Canada. The $3 billion realignment had already begun before anyone outside the room knew a decision had been made. This is not a rumor. This is what happens when the world's most powerful sporting body loses control of its own narrative, and when the country hosting the biggest tournament in football history starts making the sponsors deeply uncomfortable. To understand how we got here, you need to start with what the 2026 World Cup was.
They don't even need to have the World Cup now. People's going around here with the hantavirus. And I heard they let everybody off that damn ship at this point. They let everyone off that ship to return to their prospective countries. So with that been said, honey, nobody should be going to the World Cup. Okay? Please. At all.
Mr. Chambers, welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record.
Gary Chambers, representing myself here. I am not surprised by the things that we see happening in our country today, because this is as true to America as it has always been. I was born in 1985. I'm 40 years old. A lot of times when we talk about this history, we like to go back to the 1960s, the 1800s. But when I was born in 1985, there were no black members of Congress from Louisiana. I was 6 years old when Bill Jeffers was sworn into office. I was 7 years old when Cleo Fields was sworn into office. I was 9 years old when they took him out of office. I'm 40 today. And you're still taking things from black people. Anybody who has to cheat to win is a sucker. I'm gonna say it again. Anybody who got to cheat to win is a sucker. And you continue to do this because you don't have a better vision. You don't have a better plan. You are your ancestors' children and grandchildren. Thieves, robbers, liars, consistently. Because you'll go to church on Sunday, tell the Lord you love him. Pray, but you ain't praying out of the same Bible I'm praying out of. Can't be. Isaiah 1 and 17.
Are you directing this to us?
I am.
Okay. I'm asking that you don't directly. No. I'm asking that we don't be called names. I'm asking.
I didn't call you a name. What did I call you?
Liars.
He didn't call him not one name. Sir, you're offended because he's telling the truth. And you are a liar. Okay? The shoe fits.
Do you lie? All men lie. The Bible says that. Mr. Chairman.
Senator Carter, briefly.
Mr. Chairman, this is public comment. The First Amendment allows freedom of speech and expression 100% without limitation. Mr. Chambers, put on the record your full comments, and if you see thievery, I want you to call it out. If you see something else, I want you to call it out. As your First Amendment protection is going to be protected in this building.
I'm not going to be called names. I'm not going to be called names. All right. And what we will do is
First of all, he didn't call him a name, but I'm gonna tell you why he got upset. Hit dogs holler. He got upset when that man said, "You are your ancestors' children and grandchildren, doing the same things, lying, cheating, stealing, the thievery." Yeah, that's why he got mad. That's why they always get mad. Okay, when you start telling the truth.
Stay on the four corners of these bills, the maps. Mr. Chambers.
If you are taking something from black people, which means we have congressional representation, that you, am I going to be allowed to speak?
Your mic is on.
If you are taking seats from black people, which we are entitled to by the Constitution of this country, then you are a thief, in my opinion. And I'm entitled to that opinion.
I will not be
and
called
any
a thief.
senator, if you're offended by it, that's on you, not me.
Right.
Now, if that triggered you, Senator,
No,
then
it
you
triggered
should go to bed tonight. And when you go to bed tonight, talk to your God and ask your God to change your heart.
Okay.
Because that's conviction right there. Conviction.
Ooh, honey, he ain't said nothing but a word, honey. You wouldn't be offended unless it applied to you. Okay? Because most people don't get offended unless they believe and feel that something is applicable to them.
That's what it was. It did something in your soul. It made you feel something. And that's what happened when black men show up.
Yes, sir.
When black men with courage, conviction, and righteousness show up, it triggers something in you. And you feel a way about it. So you try to limit us, you try to steal from us, and you think that we don't understand it. Every one of the black men we put up before you stand head and shoulders above every one of you on this committee. And you know it. And it does something in you that makes you feel inferior. So then you come with these white supremacist tactics because you have the numbers, but you don't have the courage. Because if you were really visionary leaders, you'd run against these black men with fair maps and you get your asses whooped. Louisiana is 33% black. 33% black. We deserve, we have earned, we are due 2 congressional seats. Now, if you take them from us, just know there will be a day in this state when we organize, strategize, and mobilize to take something from you.
It's coming.
And when you lose your House seat because you decided to be Jeff's boy,
Come on.
when you lose your Senate seat because you decided to be Trump's minion, remember today. Remember the people that came from your state, that you looked in their faces, that you act like what they said didn't matter to you. Because something somebody said thousands of miles away, who don't really care about any of you on this committee, to be honest. Nobody in that conservative party in DC cares about any of you on this city committee other than the fact that you have the ability to take something away from black people. And if you were anything like what America should be, you'd find some courage. I don't know where y'all get it from, but you'd find some courage. You could talk to some of your black colleagues. They could tell you where the well is. But if you find that courage, history will record you differently. Now, you may not care what history records you as. Bull Connor didn't when he was running either. Neither did George Wallace when he was the governor of Alabama. But 60 years later, nobody thinks George Wallace was a good white man. And nobody will think that you were good white men. They will think that you all were puppets who played a role for a president and got nothing out of it but thievery.
Thank you for your testimony.
You see, I had a guy, Klein Peter, whatever his name was. He was trying so desperately. Yeah, Senator Klein Peter, that's him. He was trying so desperately to act as though he was not paying attention, sitting there fiddling with those little orange cards and whatnot. But sir, you heard what he said, and everything that he said was the truth. It was absolute truth. That's why he got triggered. Okay, because when a black man stands up and asserts himself, that does make cowards like him feel some type of way. What did they call them back in the days of slavery? Uppity Negroes. That's what they called them. Okay? Didn't even want you to look them square in the eye. All right, because that is an inferiority complex. Only people who feel inferior would be upset about someone looking them in the eyes and speaking up for themselves. But see, that's why they pretend to act as though they think they're superior when we know you're not. Okay, go sit out in the sun for a few hours and come back and tell me how superior you really are.
Fucking kidding me? A new bill has been filed in Oklahoma by, of course, Republicans, because I don't think there's more than like 4 Democrats in the entire state. And this bill says that every public university in the state must have a Charlie Kirk Memorial Plaza with a statue of Kirk and his family. Here is part of what the bill actually says. Each square or plaza shall include permanent signage commemorating Charlie Kirk's courage and faith and explaining the significance of Charlie Kirk as a voice of a generation, modern civil rights leader, vocal Christian, martyr for truth and faith, and free speech advocate. The square or plaza plans shall include a statue of Charlie Kirk sitting at a table with an empty seat across from him, or a statue of Charlie Kirk and his wife standing and holding their children in their arms as a central element of the square or plaza design. This is some sick fucking shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
Fortunately, they're not. They are so serious. That's the bill. That's the bill. You got to have a Charlie Kirk statue. But you know, I'm not surprised. These are the same people who had statues and monuments to Leopold II, who over in the Congo killed at least 11 million black folk. 11 million, okay, of the Congolese. So, is anyone surprised, or should we be? In fact, Charlie Kirk probably isn't as bad as the other racists that they built monuments to, because all of them are racist. Devils no less.
It gives us an opportunity to look at those congressional districts again. It gives us a chance at all of them if we give some reprieve from the courts. And so we'll see how that goes, and certainly hope that the Supreme Court will overturn Amendment 14 and gives us a shot to revisit those.
What would you say from your perspective? I mean, other than Mr. Pro Tem, everyone was relatively silent on the goings-ons. What would you say from your perspective is the biggest misconception about what the bills do, and a message that you'd like to see out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the biggest misconception is, the thing about it is, people tend to forget what happened when this thing went to court before. We actually, the Republican Party had that seat in, I guess, in Mobile, number 2 seat, that's the congressional seat 2. So the district 2. And so that was one of the things, there's been a push through the courts to try to overtake some of these red state seats. And that's certainly what happened in that one. And with the ruling that happened in Louisiana, we felt like it gave us a chance to maybe regain that seat, but also opened up District 7. So I think that's happened. All we need now is the courts to overturn 14, and we can look at a new election. The thing is, if we did nothing was going to happen. And I applaud the governor for calling us back in and give us a chance to revisit that and look at it. And what happened here in Montgomery and that Senate seat probably should never happen to begin with. And so, of course, I'm at the point that probably none of it should happen to begin with. We got 3 branches of government. It's our job to legislate, to draw those district lines, and for the court to interfere with that. And to be honest with you, I thought it was a slap in our face, because we'd spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in reapportionment drawing those maps. And they let an 18-year-old kid from the university, or I don't know how old he was, maybe 19, send the map in, and they took it without a consideration for what we had done. And, the way that the system is set up, that's the job of the legislative body. And I think we've done it in an appropriate way, and it's disappointing that they didn't follow that rule.
Okay, so anyway, honey, these people are doing whatever they want. Now, here we have this man going in on women, talking about women are too quarrelsome. They're more medicated, meddlesome, and quarrelsome than women need to be. I like his nerve. And this is a Caucasian man. Now, mind you, they're the ones They're the men that have always oppressed women, the Caucasian men. That's why the white women had to start the feminist groups that black women should have nothing to do with, because black men have never in the history of oppression oppressed us.
They are more medicated, meddlesome, and quarrelsome than women need to be. Male achievement in our country is not celebrated, though males continue to be among the highest achievers. Every effort must be made not to recruit women into engineering, but rather to recruit and demand more of men who become engineers. Ditto for med school and the law and every trade. If every Nobel Prize winner is a man, that's not a failure. It's kind of a cause for celebration. They are more medicated, meddlesome, and
to me, it sounds like he's jealous of women. Okay, to me, it sounds like they're jealous of women. And it always gets me when men love to say that women are so emotional. Men are more emotional than women. That's why they get mad and crash out and kill everybody in the house. That's why they be out here stalking women. Now, there's some women stalkers too, but y'all know the men mostly be doing it. Okay? Men are emotional, in my opinion. Now, that all being said, I forgot to show you all this video of this young lady who had some things to say about Sunshine Benzi. Actually, this was my favorite one, so let me play this.
So, a white woman at the peak of a fascist dictatorial potential takeover of the government by a person named Donald Trump makes a song called Trump the Bill as she's mocking black people and putting on a black scent. I am so fucking tired. It's the same recurring theme every fucking year. It just gotta be somebody to come out and culturally appropriate so good that black people just have to defend it. Y'all will literally stand for anything and defend any fucking thing, because there's no way there's black women thinking it's okay for a non-black woman to put on a black scent and mock a rap icon from the black community, because that's what she's doing. That her whole flow, cadence, and everything is Nicki Minaj. I don't care, but leave it up to the colonizers to copy, paste, and steal, because that's exactly what the fuck they do. And then there's behind them fucking supporting it. Harriet Tubman would have hated y'all. I hope y'all know that. Y'all just actually pissed me off. This is crazy.
Ooh, honey, she said Harriet Tubman would have hated y'all. I agree. I absolutely agree. Now, the part that I muted was when she called them raccoons, because she didn't say the rat part. She just called them the oons. Now, with that all been said, and that's what many of them are. And here's the thing. She made that video in January, way before this song with her, the open season, way before that came out. So she already was going in on it from day one, as everybody should have been, for copying Nicki Minaj, okay? I get so sick and tired of these white artists coming out here not being the least bit authentic or original and copying black folk. Get your own bag, okay? Doing your own thing. Okay, you had Elvis out there trying to copy off black people. Okay, copying off Little Richard and Chuck Berry. Then they started calling him the king of rock. Please. King of rock and roll? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? Please. Now, with that all being said, exactly, Dee Dee said not a lick of creativity. Claudette said they have no originality. All right, and let's not forget when Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears came out, who were they trying to sound like besides Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson? Y'all remember that? Trying to sing all soft like Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson. That's exactly what they were trying to do. Okay, nobody really called them out enough as far as I was concerned. There was a few people who went in on them. But anyway, it's just annoying. Okay, so I'm going to go to this last video clip and then I'm out of here. Hold on, let me just make sure. Hold on. I could have sworn. Yeah, there's a video I want to show you while this guy's talking about the hantavirus. It's another doctor. Also, one of these MAGA Christian ministry people, supposedly hailed as the holiest man alive, Daniel Savala, pled guilty to abusing boys in Texas. I thought you might want to know. He preached at ensembles of God. Okay, Run College Ministry for decades, and has been sentenced to 30 years in prison with no parole. I find it all interesting. Okay, I find it all interesting. And then you had this man crashing out in this Asian restaurant. Now I'm wondering, is this why Asians put their restaurants in black neighborhoods? Because the white folk don't know how to act. We're gonna have to get into it. Honey, they be loving to call us the ghetto, don't they? They love to try to go in on us. Hold on. Let me just share my screen real quick. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, I don't know what Big Boy was mad about. Hold on, but clearly somebody ticked him off.
Get up, bro. Get up. Grab your stuff. Oh shit, I left my glasses.
Hey, come here, guys. Come here, guys. Come here, guys. Come here. Go right here. Go right here. Come here. Hey. Benny, get inside. Get inside, Benny. Benny, get inside. Go.
Their phone. That lady is stuck.
What is he even doing? He just picked up a piece of wood, whatever that is, and started smashing stuff.
Okay.
Look at it. And why aren't they doing anything? They're just sitting there looking at it.
Yo, that's
Look at it.
Austin, bro.
Don't stay awake.
Big ass probably didn't get enough to eat.
Where the fuck? Dude, I left my shit in there too. Let this lady bring it up her food. I know that's right. What? That lady brought her food out. I too. Look at him, bro. This dude is fucking crazy, dog.
I don't know what they have going on, honey. Did y'all see Karen go back in there and get her plate? Did y'all see Karen go back in there and come out tiptoeing with her plate? Honey, it was all ghetto. Okay, it was all ghetto, just so y'all know. Minneapolis, John Salchuk, a white man, shot his black neighbor, Davis Moturi, in the neck from an upstairs window while Moturi was trimming a tree on his own property. The shooting followed months of harassment by Salchuk, including racial slurs like black bastard and then threats. Moturi's family had filed at least 19 police reports with active warrants against Salchuk that police had not served due to his mental illness and firearms. Moturi survived but suffered serious injuries, fractured spine, broken ribs, collapsed lung, and concussion. He underwent surgery to remove the bullet. Salchuk was arrested after a SWAT standoff. He faces charges including second-degree attempted murder, first-degree assault, stalking, and harassment. Prosecutors called it racially motivated. He was later ruled incompetent to stand trial and remains in custody. The case drew widespread criticism over police failures despite repeated warnings. Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Shows David Matpuri trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window.
The bullet went down through my neck and then all the way back to my spine.
Matpuri told NBC affiliate KARE 11 he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion. Adding, the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshak. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. It also says Shawshak suffers from mental illness. Shawshak has been charged with attempted murder, but he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect in this case is high.
That excuse sparking community outrage.
First of all, he wouldn't be staying next door to me after that. I would have filed a restraining order so he couldn't come within 100 yards of me, 100 feet, and then he wouldn't be able to stay in his own damn house. Because how are they letting him out? Like, make that make sense. Okay? Absolutely nefarious, end of the day. This poor little boy right here, 11 years old, may he rest in peace. His name is Maroney Merrill. His mother and father, Melinda Marie Merrill, age 36, and Brigham Young Merrill, age 35, tortured this poor child to death. Okay, a horrific torture murder. That's what that was. Low down, dirty devils. Now here's the doctor talking about the hantavirus. Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, hi, good morning. This is Dr. Zelenko. I'd like to give you a biology lesson. There are many viruses in the world, and we categorize them based on their genetic material. And so there's a class of viruses called single-stranded RNA viruses. And some of those viruses include all the COVID strains, COVID-19, influenza virus, RSV virus, Marburg virus, Ebola virus, hantavirus, and there are a few others. The point being is that they all are single-stranded RNA viruses that use the same common pathway in making copies of their genetic material. That's something called RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. That's what I've been talking about for the last 2 years in the context of COVID-19. But if we extrapolate that to think more broadly, then it's the same mechanism of treatment using zinc ionophores and zinc could inhibit all the strains of COVID-19, influenza virus, RSV virus, Ebola virus, Marburg virus, and hantavirus. This has tremendous amount of national security implications. And I don't think anyone realizes this. And so I'm pleading with our scientists and the honest people in our government to investigate this, because as the recent chatter in the news is going, we're seeing hemorrhagic fever from China. There's concern about Marburg virus, hantavirus, and Ebola virus. These viruses carry, to some estimates, 90% death rates. So I think there may be a solution to all these huge public health and bioterrorist problems, all with one simple, cheap, oral approach. Basically, what I'm saying is if the whole world had enough vitamin D3, high normal levels of vitamin D3, and enough intracellular zinc, we can eradicate most of these health threats.
Okay, y'all heard what he said. Now, with that being said, everybody just stay safe because it's getting real out here. And he said a national security threat. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so now with that being said, let's go to this clip. I'm not even sure what this clip is about at this point. I forgot. Hold on. Oh, yes, I do. Let me tell you all something. Honey, when I tell you racist white people are the absolute worst, there's many racist people in the world, but when I tell you racist white people are the number one problem, okay? Because some people can be racist and keep it to themselves and just not like fool with the group that they're racist against. But racist white people, they have to let you know they're racist. They have to do things and say things to let you know they don't like you because you're black or whatever you are. You're an immigrant, whatever. They have to do it. They cannot stop themselves. They just can't be racist in private. They have to let it be known, which is fine by me. But here's the thing. It's also aggravating and annoying because they can't leave us the hell alone. They're so obsessed, most of them. Now, I want you to pay attention to this video because a group of Karens took it upon themselves in Pennsylvania to go door to door trying to find illegal immigrants so they can call ICE. Yeah, they had time that day. Okay, that's what they did. That's exactly what they did, honey. They had time today.
So in Norristown, Pennsylvania, there are white women walking around to basically find people of color to call ICE on. So basically they are the Gestapo's fucking wives, or they are part of the Gestapo. So if someone like this walks up to your fucking door, do not answer. So in Norristown, Pennsylvania, there are white women walking around to basically find...
I feel like they're on patrol. It's the nerve of it all for me. Can you imagine? I want you all to think about this. I want you all to think about this for real. Imagine yourself sitting at home bored. There's nothing good on TV. Your snacks are gone. Okay. Nobody's really talking about anything on YouTube. And you're just bored. You say, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm about to call up Martha and Susan and Heather and Amy. And we're going to go knock on some doors. See if we can find some illegals. So we call ICE. Get them locked up. Who does that? Clearly them. Okay, clearly them. All right. So now with that all being said, listen, before I roll out of here, Mesa says, I want a bacon, eggs, and cheese maple sandwich from home. All right, greedy. Go right on ahead. Okay, Fear says we need the sun. It increases your vitamin D. Absolutely. Absolutely. Robert said Latinos for Trump. Where'd that come from? Okay, so anyway, listen. With that all being said, I want to play this last video for you all. This guy is singing an original song that he wrote himself. It's just a clip of the song, like 30 seconds. But sadly, he's now dead. Okay, I saw the song. Somebody shared it on YouTube. He was in prison when he was singing it. And I'm probably going to get a copyright claim, but oh well. But he was in prison when he was singing it, and it sounded like he had hopes and dreams, you know. But sadly, he died in a prison riot. Okay, how sad is that? You all, who wakes up thinking ever, who's born thinking that they're going to die in a prison riot? Okay, y'all need to get y'all's lives together, people. Okay, that's what y'all need to do. Y'all needs to get y'all's lives together. Fear's talking about knock on the wrong door. Exactly. Cyrus said we need the queen for uplifting. Thank you, Cyrus. But y'all need, seriously, y'all need to get y'all's lives together, okay? Life is too short. Juju said you still eating bacon, aka pork. Juju, sit down somewhere. Don't try to pork shame anyone for still eating bacon. Okay, just because you may not eat it, Juju. But for real though, y'all still eating pork in 2026? Okay, it's all nefarious. Okay, here we go.
Say your name.
Clay Andrews.
And what's the name of the song?
Lord, take my hand.
Who wrote it?
I wrote it.
All right, go ahead.
Lord, take my hand and lead me on. Lord, I've tried. can't go on. Lord, take my hand and lead me on. Lord, I've tried and I can't go on. Yeah. Lord, take my hand, cause I really don't think I can cope with this. I done been on probation and parole, I'm sick of it. Violated on some charges, but the court was pinning it. 8 years I had to flatten, but I was messed up with it. Fiending for the word every day like I need a fix.
Bless his heart, honey. May he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. I'm sure that is not the plan God had for his life. Okay? And that's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to be doing what God has planned for your lives and stop lollygagging and wasting time. Okay, Robert said Anthony Hamilton vibe. Yeah, I could see that, beloved. I can hear that. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, listen, may he rest in peace. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please to like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Yeah, he did sound good, right? Okay, so listen, I'll be back later, beloveds, about 7. Okay, but until then, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me?